We've got Ray Ratto, senior insider of Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, joining us back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Raymond?
Don't be sleeping on those generals now.
Well, they do follow a script there. The question is I think we're off book right now with Curry and his knee. What can you tell us about the knee based on what you're hearing?
Based on what I'm hearing is that it's not likely that he will play in Game 5 on the theory that, A, how many more times do we want to, push our luck, ours being theirs, and B, I think they regard Game 4 as the indication that they can beat this team without him. It's remarkable how quickly the Rockets went in the can, and how quickly the second, third, and fourth best Warriors, who had been pretty awful, in the first 3 games. I mean, not much of an impact. All of a sudden rose together as one, and they just blew them out in the third. And I'm talking Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. I mean, all of a sudden they became serious impact guys again. And that's where the Warriors get you, is they always have one more guy than you do. And the lesson from Game 4, if you can draw a lesson when it's the Houston Rockets, it's that the Warriors, even without Steph Curry, have one more guy than you do. The difference is that Curry can't take a 2-point game and turn it into a 20-point game if he's not playing. Whereas, I mean, the Warriors yesterday, they just sort of gradually pulled away. The thing that Curry can do that nobody else can do is disrupt a game in a hurry, and then you can't catch up.
Well, Ray,
so
when you...
my guess is he won't play Wednesday because they think they'll be able to get by without him.
But when you hear Steve Kerr saying, I feel bad for the guy, and you hear Draymond Green saying Curry was crying, you put those two together, and you usually come up with the dreaded 3 words, Dr. James Andrews, Ray,
I don't know, though, because, I'm not a doctor, for one, and I'd sound like an idiot guessing.
Yes, right.
And 2, the Warriors would gain nothing by, keeping something like that a secret. Plus, it only happened yesterday. They haven't done the MRI yet, or if they have, they've just finished it. So until we know something, the invocation of the good doctor is premature at best and goofy at worst, because Kenny Smith was on TNT last night declaring that it was a contusion. So I don't have the gift of being able to diagnose via television yet.
So then let's go. Then let's completely go off the rails and suppose it's a serious injury. And our poll question has that removing Curry from the roster. How far do you think this team goes? Do you think it could lose to the Clippers? It could then eventually lose maybe to the Spurs?
I think.
How far do they go without Curry?
The Clippers are a tough out for them. And the question is, because we don't really know what these Clippers are because they spent so much time without Blake Griffin, can they beat the Clippers? Yeah, but I think it'd be a tough go. And following that series, playing San Antonio, they literally have to try to run San Antonio out of the gym and use San Antonio's age against them. I think they could get to the final, but it would be a much harder trip. And the other fact is that every day, the questions that they would deal with, which are, they're mild irritants, but it's every day. It's, what could you have done without Curry, or how are you adjusting without Curry? Last year, they had none of those irritations. They had one of the easiest hand rides in the history of the NBA. And this time, if they don't have Curry in your scenario, all of a sudden they become the team that gets chewed on every day. And you don't really know how they will react to that, because it's a lot of days in a row of getting chewed on. It's not just one.
Ray Ratto of CSN Bay Area joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. What is Kaepernick's future in San Francisco as we reach the draft week here finally?
I think we're still in the place that we've always been. He doesn't like them, they don't like him, and neither of them know what to do about it. So it's basically it's a marriage made in Toledo. And until somebody bends some way, I think that's how this is going to stay. I think Blaine Gabbert is going to miraculously win the job, quote unquote, and Colin Kaepernick will keep his mouth shut, but it will be clear that he's not happy, and he will find, or his people will find subtle ways to make sure the 49ers aren't happy either.
Well, but Ray, an hour ago, the quarterback that Chip Kelly liked so much that he basically blew up the program there in Philadelphia to go and get Sam Bradford says he wants out himself. So now it's not just maybe Gabbert that would be the guy that would be having to be, as I'm intimating right there from reading between your lines, being sold. That would be the bill of goods being sold to the Niners fans. Bradford, maybe you bring Bradford in, get Kaepernick out, Gabbert backs up, and off we go. Do you think that's a possibility?
It is, but the problem is the 49ers seem to be bad trading partners in that they have a price and they don't come off it. And when you're that kind of operation, teams don't really want to deal with you after a while. The 49ers are not flexible. Say whatever else you want about Trent Baalke and Jed York. They decide this is the value we've put on this commodity. We're not coming off that number. Now, would Howie Roseman do Chip Kelly a solid? It doesn't sound like that. But, I mean, anything's possible before the end of the International Lying Fest happens and the actual selection of humans begins.
Is that what you're referring to, the draft? As the International Lying Fest and the drafting of humans? Selection of humans?
That's when I'm in a kind mood.
Right now, being on this show.
Yeah. No, it literally, it's 6 months of people lying to other people. And those people knowing they're being lied to and then preparing their lying response. It is a festival of disingenuousness that is compounded only by the fact that everybody thinks they know what's going on when nobody does. There is no mastermind anywhere who can figure out what is going on here because there's nothing to fit. You pick the names, you figure out if they fit, and you figure that out by watching them play. And everything up to that is trying to see how much manure you can pile in a gigantic sculpture in the middle of the dance floor. And finished off Thursday when you host the National Football League draft.
Well, Ray, if it's okay, because I've been looking, searching, grasping for words to open up the draft coverage on NFL Network Thursday night. I think I just found my words verbatim. Do you think NFL Network brass would go for that? What do you think, Ray?
Yes, I believe they would.
Okay.
Because, one, truth is an absolute defense.
Yes.
Two, they regard you as a great Nordic god.
Okay, I'll take that, sure.
And three, I believe if push came to shove, you could beat Roger Goodell's ass.
I don't know if that's going to be in the cards, though, Ray.
No, but that's great TV. That's fabulous television.
Well, speaking of,
we're talking with Commissioner Rosa. We're talking with Commissioner Goodell.
Yeah.
Raj, take your coat off while I beat you stupid. Are you trying to tell me people wouldn't tune in by the millions
to see that?
Oh God, in a heartbeat.
Well, maybe we'll get it sponsored. You know, we can get paid for it.
And therein lies the National Football League in a nutshell. We will let our commissioner be treated like a piñata if we can get somebody to pay for it.
Brought to you by. So before I let you go, Ray, what do you think of the news that Deflategate is back and that Brady's suspension is back? And I don't think the appeal is a long shot for him, Ray.
It is my opinion that this has always been a stalking horse for the next CBA because the CBA negotiations never go away. The fact that this has gone on as long as it has is not some sort of fetish that the Patriots and the league office want to have because it ennobles them. This is paving the ground for the next big fight over money and power. And it's literally the hamster wheel in hell. So as soon as this is done, they will find something else because that's how the lawyers get paid. It's just that the CBA never dies because unlike baseball, which has found management and labor coming to accommodations on just keeping the doors open. And the same thing with the NBA that looks like it's going to have a very quiet negotiation. The NFL owners and the labor people don't like each other, don't trust each other, spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to screw each other. And so as long as that is the case, you're going to have this or a version of this, and it's going to be perpetual.
And while you're on a roll as the voice of reason here, last one, can you explain to the national radio and television audience that is maybe scratching their heads when they see an entire fan base give Barry Bonds a standing ovation as he received in AT&T Park Friday night, handing out the lineup card for Miami? Can you explain that, Ray?
I can do that very easily.
Sure.
All politics are local, and our hero is your villain. Barry Bonds hit all those home runs for Giants fans. Therefore, he's given dispensation by Giants fans. And the farther away you get from AT&T Park, the more people dislike him. So it's really just about ripples. Whatever he did, and you can characterize it any way you like, the closer you get to the place that he did them, the less judgmental people are about whether he did it right or not. So it's just all politics are local. The villain that gives me money is a hero to me. That's how they view it. That's how they'll always view it.
And you could basically replace Tom Brady's name in that for Patriot fans right now. I mean,
pick a player.
Yeah.
You know, do people like LeBron James in Salt Lake City? No,
not so much.
Do they like him in Cleveland? Yeah, very much. It's our guy is our guy. It's tribalism in the 21st century.
Ray, you're the man. Thanks for calling in. We'll chat soon. And thanks.
If I'm the man, we are doomed. And by the way,
yes,
I'm serious about that fist fight. If you want to win the night, you guys could go up against Game of Thrones. All you have to do is tell Raj, we're throwing down now because nobody cares about the 15th pick.
Well, here's the thing, Ray. If I open the show using your monologue, your soliloquy, at that point in time, it's all out the window for me. I might as well just throw down with anybody. You know what I mean, Ray?
Sure. You know what? Throw away with Laramie Tunsil. Go ahead. In fact, you know what? That's it. I will kick the ass of every draft pick on Thursday night.
There you go. Tune in.
Sincerely, Rich Eisen.
Tune in, 8 Eastern. Thanks, Ray.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
See you
Take
later.
care. You bet. The one and only Ray Ratto.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.